Baselane sounds like a smart, all-in-one fix for rental finances, but does it really fit the way most landlords manage their properties? I dug into the platform's banking, automation, rent collection, and reporting tools to see if it actually makes property management easier. By the end of this video, you'll know if Baselane is worth using and whether it makes sense for your rental setup. I tested this platform extensively, and I compared it side by side with other tools like Relay and Stessa, and I found that Baselane mainly appeals to investors who want to replace spreadsheets, disconnected banking tools, and manual rent collection with one centralized platform built for rental property finances. Its strongest suite is the way it combines landlord banking, the automated rent collection, the bookkeeping, reporting, and tenant management all into this one dashboard that actually understands how rental properties work. So the platform really appeals strongly to busy landlords because it saves time, it automates those repetitive financial tasks, and it improves cash flow visibility, it simplifies tax preparation, and it helps organize finances by property or by unit without requiring complicated accounting software. But don't just take my word for it. Take this landlord, for example. He said that Baselane was really easy to use for collecting rent payments on his furnished rental. The setup process was simple, payments were easy to track, and the customer service reps were very helpful. And yeah, that kind of matched my own experience pretty much exactly. So if you're a landlord who wants to stop wasting time on manual bookkeeping and start seeing exactly how much cash each property actually makes, Baselane is worth your attention. But does all of that promise actually work when you log in every single day? Does it do what you need it to do? How does it actually track? So let me walk you through my exact experience when I started using this property management software to manage a couple of my properties. And the first thing I looked into was security. So here's what I found. The Baselane banking accounts are provided by Thread Bank, which is a member of FDIC. So that means that your deposits are insured up to the standard $250,000 per account. But here's where it gets better. Thread Bank has a sweep program that can actually extend that coverage up to $3 million. So that gave me a bit more peace of mind there, because $250,000 is a lot, but if you have a whole bunch of properties, like, you really want that extended protection. So your money is also protected with bank level encryption when you link those external accounts, and they have additional protection as well. And speaking of linking accounts, you might wonder if you have to use their bank to collect rent, and the short answer is no. The long answer is not really. You don't have to. You can connect an external bank account instead. Well, you can collect rent to an external account, but if you collect rent to the external account, there is a $2 ACH fee per payment, so that fee has to be paid by either you or your tenant. But if you just use the Baselane banking account, that fee is completely waived. So might as well just use their account. It actually keeps things organized. So it's a smart nudge. It just saves your tenants money, and it makes your rent collection smoother. It's a small fee, but like, why not? So I tested this both ways using their integrated bank account. It just makes everything flow better. Rent deposits felt smoother, more streamlined, and I had all of my rent payments in one account, so it was much easier to track. Inviting tenants is really simple too. When you set up a lease, Baselane automatically invites your tenant to create an account. They get reminders before rent is due. They can pay with a few clicks. Here's a feature that my tenants loved. So Baselane offers rent reporting to all three major credit bureaus for a small fee of $5 per month. So that means that your tenants can build their credit just by paying rent on time. So it's kind of a win-win situation there. But it's not just my experience either. I looked on a bunch of reviews. I looked on Reddit. I saw a landlord from Utah on Reddit ask if using Baselane's bank account was worth it. He managed 4 properties, and he liked the idea of dedicated accounts for each unit. And the responses from the community were pretty telling. So one user who had used Baselane for 2 years responded with a clear yes. He said that allowing tenants to pay online without fees is a huge benefit, and tenants really appreciated it. He also found that using the bank account made his accounting much easier. Another landlord with 8 properties was even more direct. He said that it's definitely worth it. He contrasted the simplicity of opening a Baselane account in minutes versus the pain of sitting in a Wells Fargo branch for an hour just to open one account and then not have any of those extra features. So that kind of hit home for me. And this is really where Baselane started feeling less like just a banking app and more like a system designed specifically for landlords. Because once the money starts flowing in, the organization of it becomes everything. So Baselane lets you create separate banking accounts for each property right inside the app and keep it separated. And I found this absolutely game-changing because I could see instantly that one property was more profitable while another had, a big repair month. So that level of property-specific organization felt much cleaner than just using general banking tools like Relay. Here's another landlord who had been using Baselane for over a year. He put it this way. He said that he's used other property management tools as well, but Baselane helped him open a bank account behind the scenes and associated it with his property so that he didn't need to go to a third party. He then highlighted that the reports, and especially tagging and categorization, those features were really helpful for reporting and tracking and organizing things. And when it comes to taxes, Baselane lets you generate a tax package with just a single click. It puts all of your income and expenses for the properties that you select, then it gives you a clean report to send straight to your accountant. I used this last tax season. It's much faster, much smoother, and my CPA actually thanked me for being so organized. That never really happens. The platform generates a net operating cash flow report as a CSV file, along with a full ledger of transactions. Transaction attachments are coming soon as well. So for some landlords, this feature alone, I think, could justify switching. But let's say you want to grow your portfolio even more, and Baselane's thought about that too. So they offer access to lines of credit and investor loans through partners. These are tailored specifically for real estate investors, so if you need funds for a renovation or a new down payment, you can explore options right from your dashboard. They also have a full loan program covering conventional mortgages, DSCR loans, fix and flip loans, BRRRR loans, and new construction loans across 48 states. So this turns Baselane from just a banking tool into a real financial hub for real estate investors. One more feature I really appreciated was how it handles collaboration. So you can easily invite your bookkeeper, property manager, or your partner to your workspace, and they get their own login with controlled access. So this is huge for delegating tasks without sharing your personal login or passwords. And this feature is only available on the Baselane Smart plan, but for landlords with multiple properties, it's, I think, pretty well worth it. So as you can see, Baselane is about landlords solving specific problems like eliminating payment fees, simplifying multi-property tracking, and escaping the clunky traditional banking that doesn't really help landlords specifically. So I think that's the specialized value that it delivers, which competing platforms like Relay really aren't designed to provide. But either way, of course, Baselane is not going to be perfect. Nothing is, and I do want to talk about a couple downsides. So when I was digging into this platform, I came across a review from a landlord who had a relatively poor start. My experience was fine, but I did want to look through the reviews for this. So this landlord says that his funds were stuck for 2 weeks, though he did say that the issue was eventually resolved to his satisfaction, but 2 weeks is a long time to wait for your rental income. It must have been something in the back end. Like in my own testing, I didn't experience any holds, but this is something that you should know about, that it could happen with any fintech platform, especially one that moves money between banks. There can be verification delays when you first set up. They're just trying to keep security and safe. The key is that support eventually resolved the issue for that user, and from what I've seen, Baselane's customer support is generally really responsive and helpful. Just something to note. When it comes to cost, Baselane, I think, is really fairly priced for what it offers. There is the free plan called Baselane Core, which is obviously free, $0 per month, great price. So with this free plan, you get unlimited checking and savings accounts that earn up to 2.63% APY. You also get access to other basic features like the property level income and expense tracking and automated rent collection with reminders and late fees. And the free plan is really solid, super solid. But I think if you're serious about scaling your rental business, you're going to eventually want more, which is where the paid plan, Baselane Smart, comes in, which costs $20 a month, and you can start with a 30-day free trial just to see if it's worth it. Smart includes everything from the core plan, obviously, but then adds the features that actually save you hours every single week. You get fast 2-day rent deposits, you get auto tag transactions to properties, and you get over 120 categories to put transactions into. It has advanced tagging rules based on recipients, amount, or account, and a bunch of other like small upgrades that really help when you're managing multiple properties. So I think for landlords who have a bunch of different properties, maybe 3, 4, or more, the Smart plan, I think, easily pays for itself in the time that you save. If you want to check out the most current Baselane pricing, any active promotion deals, a full breakdown of what each plan includes, all the details, check that link in the description of this video. But after all of my testing, where do I think that this Baselane review leaves us? Well, if you are a landlord or real estate investor and you're tired of messy spreadsheets, disconnected banking, and manual rent collection, I do think that Baselane is absolutely worth it. Everyone expects there to be an automated system in the back end. The free plan alone gives you really powerful tools, and the Smart plan unlocks some serious automation. So make sure to check that link in the description of this video to get started and see if Baselane is right for your rental business.